Hello, hello, hello. In today's episode of the podcast, I'm going to be talking about AI mode for SEO, going beyond SEO ranking to brand visibility. And I'm going to be focusing on a blog post that was published by Microsoft. The title of that blog post is Mastering AI Powered Search Next Level Strategies for Marketers. We need to be careful when we're dealing with optimizing our website for AI summaries because there's a lot of gurus out there that would try to claim and monetize your SEO strategy and lead you in the path where they're not 100% certain. The reason why I'm highlighting this is because AI search and showing in AI search results is new. It's even new to Google. The reason why I say it's new to Google is because Google themselves are trying to figure out a way to monetize search results from AI overview. So they're looking for ways to monetize it. At the moment, they're trying to introduce paid clicks into the AI overview results and AI mode results. So it's still as its infancy. And the best place for you to learn about how to optimize your website for AI overview is actually to listen to platforms like Google and Microsoft. In today's episode of the podcast, I'm focusing on Microsoft's recommendation how marketers can master AI powered search. The article talks about how you can plan for AI search, how you can create for AI search, and how you can optimize for AI search. It also talked about how content discovery in AI search engines and then staying ahead of AI powered search. So I've taken notes from these articles and I'm going to be discussing them one after the other. Some of the key highlight that you need to focus on with this is you need to focus on query expansion. What does this mean? You need to understand that there's been a shift away from just keyword focus search by customers. People are now relaxed. They're more in tune. So when they search using AI mode or ChatGPT and other AI platforms, the way they search is conversational, is different to your traditional one keyword, static, segmented approach to search. Customers are contextually aware and the AI engines are doing a good job at predicting user needs. So when these users are within the AI engines and they're searching using ChatGPT, those platform wants to move people from awareness to conversion as quick as possible. And they want to help those people get all those information in one sitting. So the possibility of people clicking to your website will reduce because these platforms are trying to identify and understand the user intent when they're using the platform. So you need to be able to understand the customer better. And another thing this article highlighted is the results you get in AI is basically a snapshot of existing content that has been published up to the time when you're doing your search. So when you're planning for AI search, the first recommendation according to Microsoft in this article is you need to first perform a comprehensive content audit. So the content audit is you look at the entire content on your website before you think of even appearing and ranking for AI visibility. Do that content audit to identify gaps and then to identify new content. So when you're doing a content audit, I've done a video about content audits, end-to-end content audits in the past. That video is still relevant because the goal is for you to identify new content that you should create, and that content needs to be with the vision and the visibility of the entire customer journey. Where are you lacking when it comes to those content? And one thing they also say when you're planning and optimizing your website for AI search is you need to understand that generative engine optimization, AI mode in SEO, they reward freshness. So you need to make sure that you develop a consistent publishing cadence for your content. Your content optimization and your content production process should not be a set it and forget it approach. You need to make sure you have a monthly update for your evergreen content. You need to have a quarterly update of your blog, your high performing blog. So this is recommendation coming straight from Microsoft Bing as ways for you to plan your website for AI search. Then another thing they also highlighted is you need to target high intent queries. You need to understand that a lot of informational queries will get served easily. But when those queries are high intent, you need to make sure, according to the article, that you focus your content on things that addresses user needs at all stages of the customer journey. As you're aware, the title of my podcast is Digital Customer Journeys. This is exactly the same thing that Microsoft is saying here, that your content for AI search should target the entire customer journey. Gone are the days where you optimize your website or your landing page for one single keyword and you hope that that would be enough to get conversion. That would not be enough. And then for you to plan for AI search, they also recommend that you use structured data to improve the search and visibility and contextual understanding of your content. What is structured data? This is a technical part of SEO where you apply code snippets to your website. There's plugins that you can use, but basically what this does is it gives information specifically to search engine to help them understand the information on your landing page and your website as well. So the second part of AI mode for SEO, again, I'm using Microsoft as an example here. The article is highlighting what you should do to create for AI search. When you're looking to create new content for AI search, it says you should make sure that your content is structured and it's clear and uses a natural language. This is very important because by default, I mean, when people are creating content, sometimes they create content to sound smart, to sound intelligent. Those contents are very, they use big words. I'm not saying it's wrong to use those kind of words, but basically what they're saying here is use natural language, language that you would use on a day-to-day basis. Basically, my interpretation of this is use a language that a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old would understand. Those are the kind of language you want to use on your website, because not everyone that visits your website would have English as their native language or will have that level of intelligence and understanding that you think they might have. So when you're also creating content for AI, Microsoft recommends that you prioritize authority and experience. What they're saying here is for every piece of content that you create on your website, make sure that you're getting it from trusted sources and you present real world example of successful implementation. Creating content as a thought leader in your industry, use real life case studies, use real life example, and add quotation statistics from industry experts, authority in your industry where people believe what they say, and use those statistics and those research information to improve the quality and the authority of your content. So when it comes to optimizing for AI search, making sure that your content is actually optimized the right way, they re-emphasize that you need to keep your content fresh. Make sure that you have a regular cadence, as I mentioned earlier on, that will make you go back to your content. As a business leader and your business owner, you want to make sure that people on your team are actually making those adjustments in those content. So basically, they want you to have a test and learn mindset when it comes to optimizing for AI. When you publish something, you want to measure it, and you also want to keep an eye on that content to see how the user intent and the user expectations are evolving over time. And you also want to personalize. That's what they're saying here. You want to track all those content as well. And then another section of the article for you to be able to use AI mode for SEO and go beyond just ranking and brand visibility. They say AI requires for your content to always be current. Again, they just keep talking about exactly the same thing, keeping your content fresh, keeping it really clean. And also, you want to make sure that you notify search engine of updates to your content. So there's certain default plugins and setting in your website that would allow indexing straight away. For WordPress websites, if you use plugins like Rank Math and other plugins, some of this thing will pick up that when you publish it by default. But then you also need to go into like Google Search Console to make sure that you submit your website URLs when those contents on the websites are updated. So it says you should make sure that you optimize content for interactive format. Focus on intent-based and long-tail keyword, question-based keywords. So when you're actually creating content for AI search, you want to make sure that the intent behind that keyword is clear. You don't want to you just don't want to create content because you know that that content is going to rank high. If it's going to rank high in search engine, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get picked up by AI summaries. So you want to make sure that you're creating and optimizing content for long tail keywords as well as question based keywords. And then they say you need to focus on content that drives meaningful actions. So when you're creating a content on your website, you need to ask the question, what is the action that you want this content to drive? So that then aligns when people are using ChatGPT and AI mode to search for information, they're looking to achieve something. And if you've created a content that drives a meaningful action, it then aligns because they're trying to solve a problem and they're trying to ask a question. If your content aligns with what the user is searching for, then you will get more brand visibility in AI mode and ChatGPT as well. So it says you should focus on the quality of the clicks. It's not that you're not going to get clicks to your website anymore. The point is the clicks will decline, but the quality of the clicks will increase. So that's another thing you need to pay attention to when you're optimizing for AI overviews and AI mode as well. And when it comes to content creation, lazy people, I call them lazy because you have individuals that would just use ChatGPT and AI to create content. You're just regurgitating existing content, and there's no uniqueness, no freshness, no new perspective to that content. So, what they're recommending is you should use AI as a source of inspiration and assistance rather than a replacement of human creativity. Human creativity is still important, but you should make sure that you do not use AI to replace human creativity. Use those AI as a source of inspiration, and with your human intuition, then you can deduce the kind of content you should be creating. So you need to understand the customer intent and offer content that meets their need. So that's basically how you optimize for AI search and AI overview to make sure that you just go beyond just the ranking alone. You want to get more brand visibility. My name is Femi Olajiga. I'm a growth marketing consultant focused on SEO, Google Ads, conversion optimization, landing page optimization, and content strategy. I'm an end-to-end digital growth consultant, digital marketing growth consultant, whatever title you want to give me. But basically, what I'm trying to say is if you need help optimizing and getting results from your website, connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll be glad to help you. Thank you.